Good morning. Gosh, look at the light in here. It's so nice. Cannot wait to be living here and basking in this sunlight. If you can't tell, I am struggling to get going this morning. I'm here on my own. Dean's finishing up a job today, and I am on snag duty, which is where, so basically I have a long list of tiny little jobs that need to get done, and they're really unexciting, but they have to be done. And a toilet is being delivered today, and I have to be here to sign for it. Like, I have to be here to receive it. So I just thought, I'm just going to be here the whole day and just get loads of little things done. I think that's why I'm struggling to get going, because I know that these are not, they're not fun jobs. They're just tiny little things. You know, there might be a bit where, paint needs touching up, or, filler needs sanding, or something needs filled, or, just tiny little things like that. That's my job today. Also just had a bit of a sort of, just felt quite defeated this morning when I realised that in 2 weeks' time we will be living here. And when I say it like that, I'm a bit okay, the house is livable, but it would be difficult to live in. It would be a bit chaotic to live in. And I actually think we're just going to have a few weeks when we first move in where it's just going to be quite mad. But you know, that's moving, isn't it? We have started to bring over quite a lot of stuff now, big bulk of furniture and things have come over. We've put the Tilco sideboard up in the bedroom and it looks really nice. We've just put little pieces here and there, and it's getting me excited for the bit where we kind of figure out where everything goes and we start to make things look nice, and then can just have a couple of months of just zhuzhing and figuring out where we want things and making things look nice. But yeah, I've not got the energy. I just need to, maybe I just need to finish my coffee.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Beautiful toilet. Not that I want to draw too much attention to the toilet, but I feel like I've chosen quite wisely.
Yeah, it's a lovely toilet.
It's very nice details. Really like the handle on it. Glad that it's... Oh, that's a satisfying flush.
It's really good, isn't it?
And like that it's back to the wall instead of... I don't know what it's called when it's just open. So it means you can't see any of that horrible...
No goblins.
The horrible big thing at the back.
Goblins.
Aside from the upstairs shower, the biggest job we have remaining is staining all of the hallway and the stairs, all the way up as well. But it's one of those jobs that we can't really do at the moment because there's so much, we're just coming in and out of the house. We need to wait until we have a day where we don't really need to come here, so we can just stain in the morning and then leave it all to dry. So I think this is going to be a job that we do at the very end. Until then, though, I've been doing some very extensive wood stain testing in the hopes of finding the one. These are all from Mylands. Not sponsored, by the way. I feel like I should shout them out because they've got such an extensive range of colours and types of stain. So these three here are grain raising, and then these three here are non-grain raising. So you can kind of see that they don't bring out the grain as much as these three. This one's a bit too orange, but I think this is absolutely beautiful. Really liked Old Walnut when I was putting it on, but then when I put the second coat on and it fully dried, I think it's too dark. Rosewood's too red. I think this is Dark English Oak, just too flat, which leaves me with Linen and Brazil Wood. This, for the last 2 weeks when I've been coming in and out of the house, this one has been a firm favourite. I'm continuously drawn to this one. So I think this is the one. It's warm toned, it's got a little bit of red to it. I think once it's imagining this, just all there, bit of a varnish, so it's got a bit of a sheen. This one's nice. I just don't know if it's a little bit like too dull. You know, like this is a lot richer. This is lovely, but it's just not quite, you know, I don't know if it's gonna like wow me as much when it's all stained. Whereas I think this, in a really big space like that, will look really nice and rich. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm going to balance you on the window ledge because it's raining and this is the only area of the house I seem to be able to get daylight. I just got back from the dentist because I have had my first... What is that noise? Oh god. That sounded like... I don't know, that just sounded like a terrifying noise. It was just my tripod almost falling over. Yeah, I've started Invisalign, so I had to go and have my first set of inliners installed. Sorry, I'm just going to change the exposure because it's very dark. Yeah, I had the attachments done, you know, I was given the lowdown, all the do's and don'ts of Invisalign. I've got a 20-week plan, and then after 20 weeks, the dentist will revise and she will make a decision as to what we should do next, because I have some teeth that are kind of like twisted round, and in order to kind of get them to spin back round again, it could be quite a long process. So we will revise after 20 weeks and see how things look. But she's hopeful. She's hopeful that they are gonna move around. I was quite nervous because I had to have IPR, which is essentially where they just file away at your teeth. And the idea of it just sounded so horrible. But it wasn't too bad actually, it was just a lot of discomfort really. But that's the dentist, isn't it? You kind of just sit there with your mouth like clumped open, dribbling, and it's just uncomfortable. But there was a point where she had basically a miniature piece of sandpaper and was just sanding in between every single tooth. That was quite sensitive and was probably the most uncomfortable part of it. So yeah, I have Invisalign. For me, in terms of my physical appearance, my teeth are probably one of my biggest insecurities for a very, very long time. And I know people will be like, oh, I didn't even notice your teeth. You know, there's nothing wrong with your teeth. But that's the nature of insecurities, isn't it? They're always, God, you can tell I can't talk properly. That's the nature of insecurities, isn't it? There are always things that no one else notices, but you focus on a lot. And I hyper-focus on my teeth massively. And now that you know that that's an insecurity of mine, if you go through my Instagram, you'll kind of notice now that I don't really post any photos of me with my smiling with my teeth on show. I'm always very much like closed mouth smile, just a bit like, and that's because I'm insecure about my smile. And like I said, I really hyper focus on my teeth in any photos of myself. I have been really in my head about it for a long time, and just felt like it was something that would really change my self-confidence for the better. So yeah, 20 weeks of this. It's not too bad at the moment actually. I've spoken to a few friends. I've got some friends who are kind of like in the middle of it, some friends who are on the sort of tail end of it, and everyone's sort of been like, it does get a lot easier. The first sort of week or so might be a bit difficult. The thing I'm a bit concerned about is I'm quite a snacker. So I'm just gonna have to be, I guess, a bit more forward thinking about my meals and have bigger meals so that I don't feel the need to snack throughout the day. Okay, I take back everything I said about Invisalign not feeling too bad. I'm not even going to try and eat that on camera, like what's the point? I'm in a lot of pain this morning. Oh god, I feel like I can't even open up my mouth. It's just like, I had a bit of a meltdown yesterday. I just could not get my bottom aligner off at all, and I thought I was going to have to call the dentist because I just felt like I was going to either rip all the attachments off or damage my teeth. But then I sat on Invisalign Reddit, which is a great place, lots of helpful information on there, and it seems that it's quite a common thing, especially when you've got a lot of attachments, and if they're quite big attachments, it makes it quite difficult to get the aligner off, but apparently it becomes an easier process as your teeth start to move. So, and a lot of people are like, you get the knack of it eventually. So I've ordered like one of those Invisalign hook things that will hopefully help to remove it. Anyway, enough of that. Today, I'm gonna do my kind of like closet clear out. I've packed a lot of my wardrobe, but I have a few areas of the wardrobe. When I say areas, I mean just like bags and boxes that I need to have a real sort through and figure out if I want to keep things or sell them. So I'll talk more about this once I've had breakfast and that. And so the clear out begins. Naturally, I think with a move, when you're going to a new space, you kind of really want to only take the things that you love and you want and you really need. And I sound like a broken record at this point, but I hang on to stuff a lot. Like, I think I get quite sentimental about things. I'm very much a got to keep hold of that just in case type of person, and I'm always trying to get better at not being like that. I don't think keeping hold of things for sentimental reasons is a problem, but it's the just in case things, or the things that just don't work hard enough in my wardrobe or aren't quite right for me. That's where the issue lies. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to put on Vestiaire Collective. So with the Vestiaire stuff, actually, I'm just going to kneel down, that'd be way better. So with Vestiaire Collective, every item that you upload goes through an approval process. So it's not possible to set like a live date for everything. So what I'm going to start doing is uploading, I will have already started uploading pieces actually by the time this vlog is live, but because of how the process works, they will be like drip fed onto my profile throughout Sunday. So if you're watching this Sunday morning as it goes live, you're one of the lucky ones, because if you're watching this a bit later, there's a chance that all of this stuff will be gone, unfortunately. So yeah, things will be going up today, bit by bit, basically, and then hopefully by the end of the day, everything that I'm about to show you will be on my page, which obviously I will link below. So the things that are going on Vestiaire, these Jill Sander boots from a couple of seasons ago, sizing issue, just a bit too big, even with like a thick sock. My feet just felt like they were swimming around in them, and this is too narrow, unfortunately, so they kind of pinch me a little bit at the top. Only been worn a handful of times, so still in very good condition, and a beautiful boot nonetheless, as always with just Jill Sander footwear, but just unfortunately didn't quite work for me size-wise. Another pair of shoes, I'm going to be very sad to see these go because I've been wanting them for so long, but again, a sizing issue. These were a bit of a rushed sale purchase on Essence. They're from the Row. They sold out on the Row's website quite quickly when they were first released, and then they were exclusively stocked through Essence. So as soon as these went on sale at like 50%, I snapped them up, but they only had sizes 37 or 38 in stock, and I'm always a 37.5 in the Row shoes, so I don't know why I thought a 38 would work. I guess I was just kind of hopeful that maybe they ran small. I've only worn them once, and yeah, they were a bit too big. My foot was kind of like sliding around the back here. But they're a beautiful shoe, very minimal, not detail sandal. This is really long, so you can kind of do like quite a dramatic wrap around the ankle. I am refreshing the Essence website like a mad woman at the moment in the hopes that the 37.5 will come back in stock, but I think because they were so heavily discounted, I don't know. There have been cases where I have refreshed psychotically for weeks and it has paid off, so you never know. And then do you know, I'm sad to see all of these things go, but a lot of it is due to like sizing issues or not being worn enough. This gorgeous Saint Laurent vintage like velvet corduroy jacket with the most stunning trim along the edges. It is just exquisite. I think it's from the 80s. I bought it online, and this is where the issue lies. I didn't check the measurements properly against kind of like my proportions, and as a result it just doesn't work for me proportionately. I was kind of hoping it would be a bit more cropped. It would need a lot taken off. And it seems like such a shame to manipulate a garment so much to make it work for me, when actually this could work for someone straight off the peg quite easily. So when I list this, I'm going to list all of the measurements. But also if I took it to a tailor, I just think like all of the detail on this, like the split, oh, where is it? There's a split hem on the edge. Yeah, it's a lot of work, and I would fear that it just wouldn't be, the finish wouldn't be as good. Another jacket, this Mark Kenley Domino Tan blazer. It's like a boiled wool, completely collarless, and then the bottom kind of like flap wraps around like that. And also this Base Range dress, which, do you know what, I think Base Range is such an underrated brand. The quality of their fabrics is always incredible. I wear a lot of their underwear and it washes so well and it's really soft. This is one of their classic wrap dresses. So you have these two bits on the side. Where's the other bit? It is there somewhere. But yeah, it's one of their classic wrap dresses in this kind of like ivory ribbed jersey. That sadly was a bit too big for me. Even though it has the wrap detail, it just, I needed the next size down. It bunched up a bit too much. And oh, I don't have it with me, but another item, it's at the other house. That some of you will remember that really big oversized cable knit from Ray. It is humongous. It's so heavy as well. It's beautiful, but it's not the most practical piece for me. I think it would work well on someone who's a bit taller. It does drown me quite a bit, and it's also quite, because of how chunky it is, it's really difficult to get coats over the top of it. Virtually impossible, I'd say, unless you wear like a cape or an extremely oversized coat. Yeah, it's one of those things that just looks stunning, and it's a nice one to wear kind of like indoors. But actually, because it's so thick, I feel like after 5 minutes I'm like sweating in it. Really not selling it, am I? But it was a highly coveted piece, so I do think there'll be someone out there who would love to own it. So that will also be up on Vestiaire Collective, along with a couple of other bits that I've got over at the house, like a couple of other pairs of shoes and some other jackets. So yeah, the link will obviously be in the description box to my Vestiaire page, and like I said, UK time, by the end of Sunday the 16th, everything should be uploaded. And then the humongous Depop pile behind me I will not go through, but that will also all be live 7 PM UK time, Sunday the 16th, the day this vlog goes live. I'm just sat at the dining table working. This might be the last time actually you see me here, because next week I will not be able to work here. The furniture is being all moved over next week, so yeah, this could potentially be the last time. Anyway, I've been sent something really exciting that I want to share with you all. I honestly, I'm like in awe. So I can't remember if I've fully explained this, but in our kind of like lounge living area, it used to be 2 separate rooms. We've knocked 3, but we've kept a sort of like nib wall, so they still feel kind of separate, but it's a little bit open, if you know what I mean. And the front section is very much the lounging area, and then the back section, TBC, but we know we're going to have a big floor-to-ceiling bookcase along one side. And the reason I know that is because we have been designing a bookcase along with our friend Dan, who is this incredible furniture maker, and he's been building it. We decided to go down the custom route because we just felt like it would be an easier way to get exactly what we wanted for that space, rather than trying to search for something off the shelf or something antique or vintage. And also, because Dan is so incredible at making furniture, we were like, why? It just made sense for us to work with him to create this bookcase. And yeah, I've just received a picture of it. It's like 2/3 done, and I can't believe how like beautiful this looks. So it's like a 3-columned unit with shelves and then cupboards at the bottom. So these are the first 2 sections. There will then be a 3rd section here. But the bit that is like, obviously as a whole stunning, but the bit that I literally am so in awe of is this bit. Like that, so that will go up along the sides and along the top of the unit. I can't believe it. Like, it's just, I knew that Dan was going to wow us, but that has like wowed me even more, like more than I thought it even could. So it's been built using, I believe it's oak veneered MDF, because the price of solid oak, like absolutely not. Also, solid wood is extremely heavy. And this way we feel like it's going to be a lot easier to stain. The dream would have been like a full like walnut or teak unit, like that's the ultimate dream. So the plan is to stain that oak veneer to replicate the same colour as, I think we're going more walnut. I feel like teak, they're both great, maybe teak's a little bit too red, but I've ordered some samples of some oil stains because I really want to get this like spot on. I've even thought about going down the route of French polishing, but I don't know if that's a bit too shiny. Yeah, I've got a lot of testing to do before we stain it. But yeah, I can't believe, I'm so excited to get that in the house. I just think it's going to look amazing. So today's Friday, and I think Dan said he will be able to bring that round next Friday. So hopefully in the next vlog, you'll see it all in place, pre-stain. Right, 7 days to go until we plan to spend our first night here, and this is how the kitchen is currently looking. As you can see, it needs sprucing up a bit. So this will be our kitchen until we eventually build the extension. If I back up, you can see the back of the house here. The plan is to extend out this way and around here, so it would be kind of like a wraparound kitchen diner. Hello! But yeah, until that happens, which probably won't be until much later in the year, possibly a bit closer to Christmas, we need to make the most out of this space and really utilise it. So we've removed the oven because it didn't work, and also it was just an awful oven that I don't even think would meet safety regs nowadays. So this will just be one long worktop space, shelves here, basically just shelves everywhere, shelves and cupboards, because it's quite a small space and we're worried that we can't fit our stuff in here. So Dean's going to take it all out, replace the cupboard fronts, new worktop, and then we've got ourselves an air fryer. We're not replacing the oven because worktop space is at a premium. So we're going to have an air fryer and potentially a plug-in hob as well. So at least those things can be moved around and put on shelves when they're not in use. Oh, we've got a new sink as well because this one's broken and just, yeah, gross. So within the next few days, this will look a bit more like an actual functioning kitchen. This is like the last big sort of messy job to get done. Oh, and still haven't done the hallway. I think that's going to be the very, very last thing that we do next week.
A whole one in, or no, I don't know.
Right, so the floor is laid, it's dried, and I'm now giving it a coat of Danish oil before it then gets varnished. This is the first time we've been at the house this late. I think it's nearly 7:30 now. So the sun's sort of travelled all the way around the front of the house. And now the light is just flooding through the hallway into the bathroom, and it looks really nice. You can kind of see the floor and the tile a lot better than all of the footage that I've posted previously. So the floor's had one coat of Danish oil, and it'll have 2 coats of varnish, and then that is it, ready to go. But yeah, still quite a lot to do in here. Toilet, paint, which I'm really struggling with. I think you can see I've tested a lot, and it's just difficult with how much the light changes in this room, because there's kind of like 3 different light changes. You've got the light coming in the first thing in the morning, then as the sun goes around the side of the house, it comes through here, and then in the evening it comes through this room here into here. Obviously that's only if that bedroom door is open. So I'm basically on the hunt for a very kind of like middle off-white, not too yellow, not too green toned, just a little bit warm toned so that it kind of works with all of the other warmer tones that we have in here. These ones on the left here are Ticarilla. They were all a bit too green toned. Then I also tried, these are all Farrow and Ball. Apart from that one in the end, that's Ticarilla. I felt like these were almost too warm toned. Maybe this one's actually not too bad. I can't actually walk on the floor right now, but you might be able to see around the side there. I also tested them all there. So yeah, maybe I think I don't know, I need to do a bit more testing. There's going to be an oak trim around here, And then there's also obviously going to be a mirror in front of this sink, and we're going to have oak windows. So I think once all of those elements are in, maybe that might make it easier to pick paint. Time's 8:30 and we're still here, just finishing up as much as we can in prep for Wednesday, which is the day. It is the day where we are planning to bring the bed over, bring all the stuff over. That means that we can basically no longer eat, like sleep or eat at the other house. And then by the end of the week, the house will be no longer ours. So yeah, I feel like this is a good place to sign off. Because yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be doing mega Depop and Vestiaire upload, and then as of Monday it is all systems go, moving everything over. So next week's will be kind of like a moving in vlog, I guess. I really hope that soon I'll be able to kind of like bring some variation into things, you know, like I want to talk about books again soon. Quite a few of you have asked about book recommendations, so that will be coming in the next few weeks. I'd also just like to be able to kind of wear clothes that aren't just these dirty dungarees again, and show you the clothes I'm wearing. That'd be a nice thing to do. Dean and I have booked to go see Oppenheimer next Saturday, and that feels like the first thing that we're actually doing together that doesn't revolve around this house, and I'm really excited. I was like, do you want to go see Oppenheimer or Barbie first? And he said Oppenheimer. I do want to see both of them quite like soon. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing something that means we can kind of like get dressed and actually like go out and have a nice evening. Yeah, oh, there was one more thing that I wanted to add. So we are planning actually two more things, sorry. We're planning a road trip around Sicily at the end of summer, so kind of like mid-September I think we've booked it for. 2-week road trip. So far we have booked Palermo, we've booked somewhere in Kefaloon, Catania and Noto, and we still have a little bit of a gap to fill, and we're unsure what to fill that with. I do feel like I'd like to go to, is it Termino? But just trying to find some accommodation around there at the moment. I'm not sure where what the good places to stay are. And there was one other place that we wanted to go to and I can't remember what it was. But yeah, basically if anyone has any like recommendations for Sicily, neither of us have ever been, that'd be great. And then the second thing I wanted to ask is actually an Invisalign request. I am now on day, is this my 4th day? Did I get them? I got them Wednesday. I am having a hard time eating because of the amount of sensitivity, and I don't know if this is going to go away or not, because I have to change a liner on next Thursday, and I'm worried that the sensitivity is just going to happen again. So basically what I'm asking is anyone who has been through Invisalign or who has it currently, like and has experienced like extreme sensitivity with their teeth. Like I can't bite food with like my front teeth. I can only use the backs of my teeth. So everything's being cut up quite small at the moment, so I can kind of like like a little hamster basically. Has anyone had any like revelations in terms of like food and meals? Like soup and noodles at the moment are like my go-to. Also had a cheesecake today, which was like heaven. I just had like epiphany that I thought that's going to be a great thing to have along with things like ice cream, ice lollies also. But yeah, anyone kind of like have any food kind of recommendations, because I'm struggling to kind of eat basically at the moment. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you all on the other side in this house.